A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
These days, a lot of information that you get, doesn't matter where it comes from, isn't necessarily completely true. Propaganda is something that has enough truth in it for regular folk who don't look deeper, they'd actually believe it. You have to actually do the research to know that an event didn't happen or happened but in a different way, or sometimes isn't happening at all. The propagandists, aka reporters, or PR person's job is to get people to think a certain way. And when I think about Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy, the word propaganda and gaslighting comes to mind. So this is why I'm talking about this. Star Wars Direct came out with the Acolyte gets promising Season 2 update report from the Bespin Bulletin. You will not see this come out from Disney. You will not see this come out from the Hollywood Reporter, etc., because it's not true. Okay, this is gaslighting. This is basically trying to get people to believe something that isn't real. Where did the word gaslight come from? There's a movie called Gaslight, starring Ingrid Bergman and Charles Boyer. Charles Boyer plays a husband who is extremely manipulative and gets his wife to believe she's going crazy. Okay, this is gaslighting over the Acolyte, all right? They have to see the show, and it has to do well to get a second season. We haven't even had the official word that Ahsoka is getting a second season, but because of connections to Lucasfilm through Sparrow, it sounds like it's a go-ahead. Mandalorian Season 4 may or may not go with Pedro Pascal. There's a rumor out there, but I seriously doubt that. This all hinges on Kathleen Kennedy's status as president not on campus, all right? She's basically persona non grata there. She has not announced her retirement. There is the threat of those emails out there. She's been, according to Doomcock, told it's going to happen. But instead of having a retirement announcement from her, we get more gaslighting about the Acolyte. And when you're told that Disney and even people at Lucasfilm don't know what it is, that there are no scripts in the system, you can't read it, that there wasn't enough for a TV show to be canceled to get the tax refund, and that it's bigger than sizzle reel, you really don't know what to think, all right? Now, the feeling is Favreau is probably going to take it and gut it. Here's another gaslight. Big YouTube channels telling you Jon Favreau left and that Dave Filoni stabbed him in the back. Not true. All right. Not true, because these same channels then reported that Jon Favreau talked to Gina Carano. Okay, you can't make this shit up. They can't even keep their lies straight. And a lot of this stuff, the reason why a lot of this stuff happened with the Acolyte is because Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, she absolutely had no idea what she was doing when she said yes to taking this showrunner's role, but she knew how to manipulate people with lies, threats, etc., to get money. because they did not get $1 from Disney to do it. And Disney pays for all of the shows that go on Disney Plus, whether it's Lucasfilm, Marvel, Pixar, the Muppets, you name it. Okay, they're the ones that push the money out. Okay, so in some ways it's too bad it wasn't if that Acolyte isn't a fully funded show and wasn't finished because they could get the tax write-off. I mean, this is as far as the gaslighting went. Leslie Headland directing the 2 lead actors at what looks like Galaxy's Edge in street clothes, and we're supposed to think it's an actual real scene being filmed. But when you look at the background, it's not a movie set. Amanda Stenberg and the Korean actor are wearing street clothes. All right, this is gaslighting because there are people out there that actually think this is a real scene being filmed. It's just these 3 people pretending she's directing them. Okay. And she didn't have any other directors. There are other people named as directors. But are they really directing the show? No. She was the only one ever on set to tell the actors what to do. All right. Yeah, to me, this whole thing in getting fan websites like Star Wars Direct, Bespin Bulletin, Star Wars Holocron on X, and others to go along with the charade is just disgusting. Okay. To get people at Disney Plus to go along with it is disgusting. It's not on the time frame for new shows to come up. But let's talk about what else has been gaslighted. Because there's more gaslighting going on than we think. There's information being left out by Star Wars Direct, and I want to call them out. Enjoy Frasier. Because this is an epic moment of gaslighting and the realization of the truth in, I think, the greatest comedy sitcom ever created.
Yeah. I mean, you told me that Maris's family money came from timber?
It did. It did come from timber.
Oh, that's what you really think?
Well, of course, it's true.
And that's what all of Maris's friends think, too? All those country club snobs who would kill for a good piece of dirt on someone?
What are you talking about? If her family money didn't come from timber, where did it come from? Urinal cakes?
I don't believe this. All these years.
The doyenne of Seattle's elite, looking down her nose at everyone in sight. She owes it all to this. She's managed to have her urinal cake and eat it, too.
As I think we now have what's known in the legal profession as a bargaining chip.
Oh, are you kidding? She'd give anything to keep this quiet.
All right, let me go talk to Maris's lawyers.
No.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
There's a reason why there are lawyers involved. There's a reason why Disney sent up to Marin County in San Francisco one of the horsemen who was called Legal. And the reason why is because there's a lawsuit involving the Acolyte. Disney didn't really even know what the fuck Kennedy and Headland were up to. There are no, like I said, scripts in the computer system of the Acolyte. And people not in the inner circle, Kennedy's cone of trust, were allowed to know. And what we do know is basically a bigger than a sizzle reel. This started, I think, unraveling when this happened. Karen McCarthy, who's a very, very well-known line producer in Hollywood, was fired after 2 weeks. After looking at some of the documents, in my opinion, and I'm not a legal scholar, but I have shown these to other lawyer friends of mine just to get their feeling. And they've said she's got a case. All right. Now, since all this came out, basically Disney's put a lid on this because they don't know what to do with it. Okay, they don't even know what the Acolyte is. We have been told after Cameron brought it out that it's probably not even a show, that there's a sense on the plaintiff's team that they're wondering out loud if it's even a show. Okay? And this is why when I look at Star Wars Direct gaslighting fans about, oh, there's going to be another season. First off, there has to be a season out there for them to think about a second season. This is the gaslighting for the Acolyte is as bad as the Daisy Ridley Rey movie. Okay. The only movie that Lucasfilm is working on or talking about developing seriously is Heir to the Empire. Okay. All right. And they know, look, Rey is not the most popular character. She's probably the most hated character. And the fact of the matter is, Daisy, every time they bring this up, Daisy gets signed to a different movie. The writer for this thing, his last name is King, is working on other scripts. So Kennedy is working through probably Jason Ward and others of her minions to get people to think that A, she's still there, that the Acolyte's actually getting a second season, and that the Rey movie is a real thing, when none of that is true. Okay. And I'm going to say that Star Wars Direct is a great conduit for this propaganda, this bullshit, because there's just enough people out there who either hate the idea or love the idea to get attention for it. The reason why I bring it up is because Black Pill Blobs look at this knowing they can get clickbait for it and they run with it. Okay. The fact of the matter is, when you look at Disney stock, which has been up, let me go look, they're actually higher by a lot compared to last week because of the decent fourth quarter earnings report. Okay. This might give Disney a lot of cushion to maybe start making announcements. We won't know anything official until Disney makes the announcement themselves, all right, that these are the things they're going to do. And I think they're waiting for Kennedy to decide it's time to fold her tent and leave. There's no reason why Disney has to wait for next October to announce she's done. Okay, the holdup is Kennedy. And the reason why she's putting out this shit now is because she doesn't want to leave. And it's, to me, again, like I said last week, this is abusive on her part. She's abusing everybody around her, including her husband. But she works as a gaslighter, okay? She wanted to gaslight people into believing she created Star Wars, in my opinion, by erasing Han, Luke, and Leia, and Anakin Skywalker, okay? She wanted to gaslight people into believing she created Indiana Jones as well, okay? That's what she does. It didn't work. And if you look at everything since before Star Wars Celebration of this year, you will see that she's up against the wall now. And the lying, the pretend movies, pretend TV show, and the fact that she's up to her ears with, I think, a criminal fraudster, Leslie Headland, proves that she's up against the wall. And she's gaslighting every one of you people into believing things that aren't true. Because Disney won't come out themselves and say A, B, and C. it's probably legal reasons why. So remember, when you hear this is happening, that's happening, and it's the opposite of logic, that's probably her trying to gaslight you. Then it's something narcissists are really good at. They make you believe it's your fault, you're the crazy one, and they've done things that they've never done. Taking responsibility for things they never had anything to do with. All right, and make you believe these things are happening when they're not. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.